I was like, really? It's like, do you look at the standings? And it's like, well, we're playing our games, but this. And it looks at the standings and it's like, oh my God,
We have to win.
We have to actually win this.
Well, we'll see if they can win it as we start the matchup. The battleground number 1 is ready to go, and we're going to Curse Hollow. Braxton sold out in Dragonshire will be banned out for our teams. Monkeys will be having the pick on the battleground, meaning that Granite Gaming will have first pick.
And the Monkeys have done really well here so far when you look towards Curse. So, I love this map. I love that we see it a little bit more now than we have seen in Phase 1. We had now 10 games on Cursed Hollow already, and it's just a super fun map, at least from my perspective. The games that you have there, they're just so different. The boss plays, tribute, making a push somewhere with a camp. And that's absolutely what I love about the decision-making process that we see on Cursed Hollow. So it's going to be great to see who's going to take the lead in the series here. Now, honestly, don't really know what to expect. Granite Gaming was getting better and better. Monkeys have also surprised us a bit heading into Phase 2, since they openly stated that with a lot of their players being half-time, since they are still at university or are going back to university, that they are practicing a bit less than other teams, still trying to get at least 3 hours of scrimming in every day. That's like 1 block that Europeans usually do. They have done a lot better than I thought. So right now they can prove that again. And as we heard from Memecraft, whoever wins here has a better chance to move out of those Crucible slots.
For me, I'm kind of excited to see where exactly these two teams are in terms of power levels. Their last week's series were a little bit difficult for both. I mean, you look over to the Monkeys, and they had a face-off against Method, who is looking incredibly powerful. They got a 3-0 against them. And then you look over to Granite Gaming, who had a face-off against Tig. So last weekend, a bit of a wash for both these teams. They kind of got taken down on the ground. This will be a game that's a little bit more on their level, and we can get a feel for where their strengths are, where their cons are, and especially for Granite Gaming, how this roster swap is really starting to affect their lineup.
With the bans also, that's another thing, of course, with the third ban now coming in that can have a huge impact on some teams, especially if you have a team that has maybe a smaller hero pool on one particular player. You can try and target that outside of simply following the meta. Talking about meta, Dehaka for Macro Game, for Granite Gaming here right away. And I'm particularly curious about if one of the teams is actually going to show some Asmodan. Not necessarily on Cursed Hollow here, just talking about the entire series. But it would be cool to also see the second rework gain a little bit of attention from HGC. I definitely don't expect him to be a staple as Reina seems to be right now.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if in niche situations you would now still fall back onto the hero.
Let's just draft Black Arts Bay. Asmon's insane there.
No.
You don't miss that map at all? You don't miss the Pirate and the doubloons?
I leveled Urel on my Smurf account
to
5, and I had Blackheart's Bay twice, so no. Just no.
Dang, man. Missing out.
Definitely no. That's a no on my part. Zeratul taken super early here. Dehaka, Zeratul, and Malfurion. So also taking the option of going into Zeratul away from the Monkeys, because Monkeys have played Zeratul here too.
That they have. Seen it from Alex Saprogi whenever he's in 1v9 mode. I don't know if we'll get that today. If he does go that route, there are other options. Monkey's thinking about their ban here. Typically when you have a Zeratul, you want to try and stay away from any type of wombo combos that can pop off. They decided to ban out Diablo. In a way, Lightning Breath can be that way, but you still have the option of going to APOC if you go for a true blow-up composition. It's a little bit rare. Blaze is a ban here for Granite Gaming.
Which leaves Urel open.
Yo.
Alex can now head into Urel if he wants to. And we have still the option for the Cowboy. Trying to get Jimmy in here after Fnatic has heavily relied on Reina on the last in the last series.
All 5 games.
Yep, every single one of them.
And Raynor in the mix. There's Urel.
And
will we get Raynor? No, we're getting Li Ming.
I mean, Urel doesn't really come as a surprise. And with Reina, I think we still have... usually in the first weekend when you have a new hero coming in or when you have a hero being heavily reworked and showing some potential, teams really experiment a lot, I would say.
Yeah.
Normally, 1 or 2 weeks later, the pick rate normalizes a little bit more, where everybody agrees on where the power level is for that specific hero. But especially with the third ban coming in, we are going to see quite a bit of Reina depending on the bans. But with the setup here, could be that at least between those two teams, he doesn't really play a massive role. We still have Monkeys for the last pick after Phoenix was now taken for the auto attack damage on the side of Granite Gaming, and we have Garrosh. Pretty nice setup for them here, actually. I'm really liking the way that they've drafted this.
What is this, a Tracer pick? from Monkeys.
Without a second support, I mean, you could
He's
still.
scary.
Tassadar, by the way, banned in the last series every single game. Here, he hasn't even been touched. And it is Greymane instead for the Menagerie.
And that should be from Make there.
And I'm already liking this. So Tracer this time not really playing a role. Tassadar not banned out. So the team's really respecting... It's a lot of mind games that are happening, and I feel that's more so true for the previous series where we had Zealots going up against Fnatic, simply because Quacknix knows Fnatic, of course, so well. So he knew exactly what kind of playstyle they would love to play against them, and therefore a bit more target bans against those compositions. But this is a completely different style of drafting that we have now, so the meta definitely shifting very much with the third ban here.
I actually really enjoy Granite's draft here. Being able to force fights how they want to. I enjoy Zeratul on this map way too much with the ability to the late game, as long as you don't get bodied too hard in the first curse. They look pretty strong, and of course you have Dahaka, which is always a staple here. If you're able to grab him, you can kind of force fights and also keep that experience lead, which is always important at Crystallo.
Yeah, I like it too. So I get a solid draft for them. Makes me want to play Hero League Europe again.
Why?
North America has this tendency to draft very interesting heroes. I had a lot of Zarya coming in lately for some reason. I was like, maybe I just got unlucky, but I was like, really? Like, it's a bit odd. And a couple of Rexar picks where I was just like, okay, I get it. We're playing Braxis, or we're playing Dragonshire, but still, could we not?
Rexar was insane, okay? Don't hate on Misha. Or Misha will hate on you.
You had to say that. Greymane, played by Marke, Remaballer currently on Muradin. We have the Monkey King on Urel, Splendor on Deckard, and Crosby on Li Ming for the Monkey Menagerie in game number 1.
On the right side in the red, Darkmark on Dahaka, Wolf Joe on Malfurion, Memecraft on Phoenix, Raid Boss on Zeratul, and Nande on Garrosh.
Wolf Joe's beard highlighted here again.
It's beautiful.
It's actually really interesting because I feel it gives him an extra... He's a little bit stronger with the beard on the support role because nearly every single support that is in the game has a long beard.
Yeah, you get in tune. That's why Dunk Train's such a good support too.
Yeah, exactly. It's the secret behind supports. That's also why Azalea is now starting to grow a bit of a beard. I mean, it's still a pitiful attempt, but at least he's trying to.
It's like 3 little hairs
to boost his support play.
Could you imagine Zelia with a full beard? He'd be unstoppable.
Going full Viking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
He could play the Vikings as support. That'd be insane.
Yeah, you're a little bit insane right now.
We're talking about insane. If we want to talk about other sports, I think Tronda is insane on Torque Bass. She is so good.
Yeah.
She's my latest love in the support world. Memecraft taking some damage here in the bottom. Oof. You gotta be careful, buddy, as he waddles away.
I have no problem, by the way, picturing you as the guy that picks a Tyrannus solo support if it's the last spot to be taken. I have no trouble seeing that.
77% win rate. What up, my dude? What up?
All right. Trying to wrap my head around that as Tim comes in with his picks again after we had to deal with Ragnaros last time. Now it's solo support Tyrande. But I actually wouldn't mind a couple of blow-up comps with the Tyrande as a second pick here. Not as a solo, but with some additional assistance. A Muradin Tyrande comp, a good old stun-to-stun setup and a blow-up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't really be too shabby, so maybe we're going to see her one day again. But for now, what we're seeing is more action around Deckard Cain and Malfurion, the two supports that are both represented in this game. And the Monkeys with a really early night camp here, trying to get some pressure through the mid lane. Especially timed, of course, with a tribute that would allow them to do a bit of damage if they push it in accordingly.
Gonna get the upper hand here, especially with them pushing in. Granit Gaming can start theirs afterwards. Although they're clear on the Merc camps. A little on the lower side. They're gonna need Phoenix to rotate to the middle here so they can deal with that night camp. And with him finally showing up, they should have a suitable defense. Meanwhile, bottom lane is going to be getting some attention as Deckard Cain comes down to help out Urel.
Yeah, that camp in the middle is not really going to be able to do too much here, but we have Greymane rotating over up to the top. So, but at this point, we have a very, very passive game from both of these teams. Basically, it's just a bit of mercenary camp pressure that we're seeing from the Monkeys, thanks to Greymane being in the mix. And outside of that, Granit Gaming is just sitting tight. They want to get into the mid and late game here with Zeratul. They're not really willing to force any fights aggressively early on, but they still have their own pressure through the bottom of the map now. Unfortunately for them, that's also where the tribute spawns. That's going to be an easy defense with no repercussions on the side of the Monkeys.
Yahtzee, look at this level 1 and level 4 pickup here. For Li Ming, we're going into a charged blast build.
Yeah, completely.
You're getting level 7 as well?
no Calamity?
No Calamity.
Like, I don't know. We'll see about that pretty soon. Drag attempt here against Make, but he dodges. And we seriously have to teach you at some point what Yahtzee means.
I'm excited for that. That was good. That was a positive Yahtzee.
That's still not how that works.
I'm excited with the Charge Blast.
Splendor with the tribute taken here. I mean, this was a pretty easy one. The problem for Granit Gaming was that there was a siege chain camp at the top. So if they rotate down, then the camp is going to do a lot of work here. Granit could have just laid the Haka there and play around that, but decided to give it up instead. Now they're trying to go for Crosby.
The Globe.
Who steps out a little bit too much, tries to go for the Globe. And there's the drag that gets dodged, and Crosby goes down. Don't greed for Globe, kids, when you don't have vision on them.
Yep. Especially if you're a mage, even with your ability to teleport there only me.
He nearly got away, by the way. That was actually, from his perspective, that was really well done. He dodged a lot there.
Yeah.
And also, we have Calamity taken on level 7. I'm really happy for that. That's just a talent you cannot let go. If you're a Liming player, Calamity is a must-have.
Jenga.
I'm honestly gonna kick you.
Jenga's a negative thing. That means the entire tower came down. See?
At this point, Monkey Menagerie has a monopoly on the tribute position.
That is nice. But the Chutes and Ladders comes down the bottom left. The scroll comes out. Make in trouble, but he's able to kite away. Look at that.
Yeah, but, well, we have at this point Maincraft starting to move in.
Ooh, drag.
He's a hungry hippo and trying to get a kill here as they are going for Mark, and they confirm that.
That they do. Rimmer has the ability to disrupt from the back right. They decide against it, though. With them already having a tribute, they don't have to force anything. Granit Gaming will go ahead and grab a tribute themselves, 1-1.
It was a really good kill and a nice setup here, too, for them. But still, it's the one thing that really surprised me a little bit is that they are so passive, like both of them. They only have like snap decisions over any tribute, but we see very little aggression around anything else. When we see rotations on the map, it's mostly from camp to camp.
Yeah.
We had one setup at the top from Granit Gaming where they were trying to get that trap against Liming. It was a successful one that secured the kill. It's just still, after this explosive series between Fnatic and Zealots, this is a very different pace that we're watching.
It makes sense for Granit Gaming, as you mentioned. Getting to the mid-game is a major goal for them as they want to get to level 10, and of course level 16 for Zeratul. But I did expect a little bit more aggression from Monkeys on the left side, especially with Calamity coming online at level 7. The ability for you to jump in, get a Stormbolt, lock down somebody with a Scroll, Greymane, and a Liming should equal resets. They just had a little bit too much disruption on that bottom left tribute where Greymane was in trouble.
All right, now I want to really see some play around the Hakas Global. They take the camp, I like that. That's a really cool move from Granit because it's going to put pressure onto the mid lane. And the Monkeys will have to decide if they want to split someone off to defend or if they make the aggressive play for the tribute. Now, there is, of course, still a chance that the Monkeys are going to give this up. Granit Gaming is likely to hit level 10 just a few seconds faster than them, so maybe they're going to make the decision, just let this go. And they actually do. Instead, they're making a bit of a cheeky boss play down here. I like this. Granit Gaming's attention is currently drawn to the top. They're all just setting up for it, so the Monkeys instead make the play for the boss at the bot lane. It's actually a pretty smart move to dodge the situation. And Remmer Baller is, in the meantime, delaying it for as long as he can.
A lot of time with Murd in there. Don't want to be in a position where it gets picked, though. Has to play it careful. Ooh, he gets caught, though, into a taunt. Damage coming out, and he pops the Avatar to stay alive with 10 connecting. The Solvo also hits. Rimmer continues to stay alive, and he'll be able to get out. Ooh, here comes the VP, though, as Granit Gaming wants to secure the kill. The root and the focus, there it is.
Murden is down, but the boss is now taken and goes to the bot lane. But there's still a bit of pressure here in the middle, especially since the spell aura of the Night Camp is in play. Alex jumps out. The Monkey King himself cannot be locked down that easily. He attempts to push himself into a position where he can 1v9 again. Already the boss at the bot lane going through the tower here. And that's where, no, Granit Gaming has to field the defense.
We'll set the defense. Getting a kill for them feels pretty nice, though. And they'll be able to deal with that boss and not lose too much in that fort. Just a little bit of damage. Zerato's going to keep an eye on the boss in the top right corner just in case Monkey's try to go for another cheeky play. But they're going for a pretty standard one. As they grab the Night Camp here in the middle, they'll have that pushing in while they attempt to set up for this tribute, which spawns in about 15 seconds. If Granit Gaming is able to win this team fight, they'll be able to take away a curse.
Yeah, and this is now one that you have to simply fight for. That's why Deckard is already starting to set up here. We have Nanda interrupting Alex for a second as he tries to move through, but that isn't really of any consequence. We haven't really seen a kill for the Monkeys here. They're just trying to play the map at this point, and this tribute is, of course, going to become important, but Granit Gaming is even giving it up. They have Zeratul in the middle. And they're just saying, guys, we need to defend against that, so that's exactly what they do. So we're gonna have a tribute fight very soon for the first curse in the game. Granit Gaming is slightly ahead in experience, despite the boss. And Monkey Menagerie is going to try and correct that by moving into the bot lane and destroying a fort. Or attempting to destroy one. And it just works out. Hero minion is there.
Last minute comes in for the takedown. So first 4 of the game goes over to the Monkeys, but they're still a little bit behind in experience. The 3 kills that Granit Gaming has been able to grab has been enough to keep them in that lead. The Monkeys, on the same even count here, go for a fight raid boss with the pretty sick juke there.
Get juked, son. That was actually really well done by him. Rema Baller completely out-juked. I mean, thanks to the wormhole here, that worked out beautifully for Zeratul. But the level 13 talent for Granit Gaming is now within reach. And we talked about this a bit in the beginning. They want to reach the late game, so the more they can work towards that without falling behind, it's going to be great for them. And they're going to get that 13 just in time for that tribute if they play their cards right. They have still some experience to be gathered at the top lane, and if they just control the middle, where Zeratul is currently trying to get an extra wave, they should hit that talent.
Monkey's trying to force the issue before that window closes on them. Zeratul working on 13, as you mentioned. The poke should be enough for Granit Gaming to look for this tribute. Monkeys themselves need 13, but they don't have time to soak up the experience. There's a wave in the middle that might get them close, but I don't think it will fully get them. They're going to have to delay as much as they can.
Now this is an important series for both the teams, as we heard before. The isolation is in. Deckard attacked. Here comes the salvo. And the synergy comes out as we see a fantastic Void Prison. Just kidding. Tranquility comes out too, but the kills are still confirmed as we are seeing them step up to take down Greymane and Deckard. And Alex might also fall now. A triple kill. Job well done.
Gleaming unable to get the damage in there. Granit Gaming clearing it up.
It was actually really interesting to see that happening with the salvo coming out, then the Void Prison, and they still get the triple kill out of it. I mean, at first you look at it, it's like, uh-oh, and then you still get those kills.
Yeah, here's VP to actually stop all 3 targets that were focused down, but Make, low on health, goes in the battle in the corner. Dakota comes out, and there's that clean.
Yeah, Memecraft just got memed. That's what happened there.
Or Dr. Strange. Gets set up, damage comes out, Alex falls eventually too. And the boss is also taken while the curse is grabbed. Granit Gaming set up for a large play here in the top lane.
I mean, this game started really slow, and for the first 10 minutes, there wasn't really a lot that happened here. A little bit of a macro play with the boss that got stuck at the bot lane, but outside of that, there wasn't too much going on. But now all of a sudden, you have this explosive team fight where Granit Gaming, despite the problems with the Salvo and Void Prison, are able to get a triple kill. And then on the back of that, it's just an easy curse. It's a boss, and of course, this is going to hurt a lot. Especially the Haka, already down at the bot lane. The one thing with the boss is always, or when you get a curse, is always that your opponent is going to lose the minion waves so quickly. So if you don't have heroes in each single one of these lanes, you don't get that XP.
Yeah.
Your own lane pushes in, so your opponent can just sit tight and grab that experience later on. So most of the time, your experience lead comes from you destroying structures. But now Granit Gaming had Zeratul in the middle for a little bit, Dehaka at the bottom, and they get a massive lead.
Nande finds another pick, goes in for a taunt afterwards, Salvo to come out afterwards. Our defender will be used for Urel to go ahead and heal on up, but Rimmer might not be so lucky here. Trying to escape, dodges out on the stun, and Elba getting to safety, but Alex Aproji, he gets tossed in the back left corner, and Alex gets cleaned up too, as Granit Gaming continues to push in the top lane, and they still have a healthy boss.
7 kills against 0, and the keep is being attacked here. Already the attempt to lock down Li Ming. Not able to get that though, but the fort, the keep, is still about to fall. We have the fort in the mid lane also still being chased down. It's like 3 levels ahead already. Massive wave at the bot lane. Boss is still up. Fort in the middle is an easy pick if they just move in and do a little bit of damage. Granit Gaming is completely dominating this now. 7 kills to 0.
Catapult pressure on the top lane at 12 minutes. There's a cleanup as well. Okay, so Monkeys looking to absorb some experience here, and they do have 2 out of 3 tributes. So the ability to take back the map is possible for them once they hit level 16. They may consider getting up to this next tribute. For Granit Gaming, the world is their oyster right now, as they're able to take out the Night Camp, look at the Giants, even dance around the boss a little bit. You have Zeratul down there.
Coming into Phase 2, everyone expected the Monkeys to be in a really shaky spot, and then they performed well against Zealots and also took quite a bit of... they played really nice deals against Team Liquid. Those were the 2 games where everyone said, okay, these seem to be a lot better than expected. But to be honest, right now they're starting to fall exactly into that spot within the standings where we expected them before the phase started. And that's starting to become a little bit worrisome. So far, it's only one game. They haven't even lost that yet. But that trend that we see goes the opposite direction of what the Zealots are currently pulling off. Zealots are getting stronger and stronger from every single series to the next, whereas for the Monkeys, it just seems to be a downhill race.
On the other side, Granit Gaming looking to be a little bit stronger here. Missing out on some combos here and there. We have the anti-synergy in the middle. We didn't have the follow-up for Li Ming in the top left corner. But you can see their improvement and them working together as a team. Now 16 hits for the Monkeys, which this is their chance here if they want to get back in the game to be in a spot where they get a fight. And then, of course, grab this tribute, which will be spawning right above here. Everyone's dancing around this boss where the main action will be. The longer Granit Gaming dances, though, the better it is for Catapults, who are pushing in the top lane. Nice
damage here now on the side of Raid Boss. With Zeratul, he's really performing. And I feel that role swap that we've seen from Granit Gaming also works out extremely well for them. Nanda seems to be more comfortable in that frontline position, and Raid Boss is definitely performing here on the damage output. Already, here comes the fight. Salvo comes out. Splendor low, and he goes down as the first kill gets confirmed. Granit Gaming now with 8 kills against 0, and they're looking for a second one against Ramaballer. Raid Boss jumping in, gets some extra pressure out. Void Prison comes out in the follow-up attempt as the Roots are on the ground.
Lock him down. Tarkma comes in. There's the toss, and the Dwarf is taken away. Monkeys lose 2. Granit Gaming turns around looking for boss. They will have a camp in the middle. Should probably think about clearing up pretty soon. But with Giants pushing in the bottom left and a boss to pick up soon, they can also move in and start to grab a second keep of the game. Tribute still up and available for grabbing. Alex Aproji trying to get cheeky and sneak it away. He's not going to get that, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of optimism on the side of Alex to think that he actually can take the tribute and curse the opponent. So, yeah, tries to sneak it out, but they're paying attention. They already know what's going to happen, and someone is ready for the interrupt. And Alex was, of course, not going to stay around. Can't really pull that off. If he stays too long there, he's going to get locked down and falls. But this is the moment where Granit Gaming is going to aim for the second keep. They're going straight to the bot lane. We also have the catapult pressure mounting up to the top. The Haka is already getting experience in the middle, and things are definitely rough for the Monkeys. They are only on level 17, or they will be in a few seconds, but Granit Gaming is definitely trying to set everything up for victory here.
Scroll comes out, big damage, big time. Granit Gaming gets 1. They look at Make 2, drag connects. That's going to be a second pick off while Rimmer is attempting to escape. He'll be able to get away. But with no damage available for the Monkeys, their keep is in trouble.
And they haven't gotten a single kill yet in this game. Ramaballer is also being taken down now, 12 kills to 0. Nearly level 20, the keep is going to fall, and it looks very much as if Granit Gaming is going to walk straight towards the core to end game number 1 here on Cursed Hollow. Strong performance by them, 12 kills to 0, the sprays comes out, going for the tricked sprays here immediately. Alex with a bit of a B-step attempt, but even that is not looking strong. Tries to jump out. Void Prison comes out of Granit Gaming, memeing around for sure here in this game. And Monkeys, they are taken apart here in the first game. 1-0 lead for Granit Gaming, Cursed Hollow.
Really all kind of boils down to that experience lead that was available on that third tribute that was available. You saw the Monkeys dancing around, trying to buy time, trying to get that experience so they can have an even fight. But Granit Gaming able to force the issue thanks to a Dark Mog burrow as he comes in from the back and finds Decker Kane. And from there, it just felt like that was all she wrote. That's 13 kills to 0. And a 1-0 lead is the final score for Granit.
They got pretty much destroyed in that game. That must feel pretty brutal. They were looking to play a game where Li Ming is just poking the entire time. Greymane can confirm a kill. I mean, he didn't go for the throat. We had Cursed Bullet, so you have more pressure towards the front line, especially against Garrosh there too. But it was just not enough. And it's tough.
Not much to say there, you know?
Yeah, it's like one fight. Both of them took it really easy until we had that big battle over the curse. And then with a triple kill, even though that asymmetry was there, the triple kill comes in. You take boss, you take curse, and then it was a 2-level, 3-level lead from there on out. And Granit Gaming just didn't make any big mistakes. And them completing the game without even losing a single hero.
Yeah.
Monkeys have to step it up. And to be frank, I would be a little bit worried if I was them.
Yeah.
Because, again, their trajectory goes the exact other way from the Zealots. Zealots are significantly improving from week to week. The Monkeys just feel like they're having exactly the opposite problem. For them, the start was a lot better than expected, but right now they're looking a bit shaky. Now, it's only map 1, so we could still see, of course, a lot happen in this series, but let's find out if they can turn it around.
Let's see if they turn it up here as we go into game number 2, because this is a match that they should be competitive in, especially when you're looking at the standings, or of course there's always the thoughts of being in the bottom 2, which eventually does lead down the path of Crucible. Sky Temple will be our second battleground here. Monkeys with the pick, as Granit Gaming will have first choice here when it comes to heroes and bans.
First pick as they had on the last map, so Sky Temple. For the first time today, actually. And they played with Dehaka already, so we could see again that focus on some of the Dehaka play, but let's not forget that this is also another map where you can play Samuro. Granit Gaming have made the role swap, so it's not quite... I'm not quite sure how much we're going to see them head into Samuro given that, but if they feel that there is a good situation for the hero and they play again with Nanda on it, then of course they have to make the swap of Raid Boss going into that tank position again. It's something to keep on your mind if you are the Monkeys.
Yeah.
But then again, they themselves might have a strategy prepared here that is going to give them a victory.
And if for some reason Abler was to get through, which is not going to be happening with the Monkeys, or of course these 3 bans being available, you also have to worry about that Voliere combination that's been popular here on Sky Temple.
Yep.
But highly doubt that's actually going to get through the ban phase here, and if it does, it'll be interesting to see if that will actually unfold. Again, with it being Sky Temple, it's all about the control of the first couple of temples, being able to try and get that a level lead, get a couple of experience there. The Nightcaps in particular have become pretty meta lately on this battleground, trying to grab those as early as you can to get a little bit of a push going, especially in that top lane. If you can break through the turret walls and the gate, typically if you control the top temple the entire time, you can get a fort as well.
Yeah, that of course gives you the lane pressure then too. But talking about that pressure, I absolutely agree. If Abathur is not gonna be banned here, I'm gonna eat my hat.
Yeah, there's gonna be a plan.
Yeah.
You gonna eat your hat?
I'm gonna buy a hat and I'm gonna...
What kind of hat would you wear?
Yeah, I don't know. I look good in the hat.
I think you'd wear a sombrero. Really? Do you?
Yeah.
You don't seem like a hat person to me.
I look good in
Do you wear it backwards or forward? Or tilted to the side?
Not a cap. Not a base cap. I look like I look completely stupid.
Are we talking about like a fedora or like...
No, just like a hat. I don't know.
What do you mean a hat? A hat is a cap. The one with the bill in the front?
No. That's a baseball cap.
What kind of hat do you wear? Now I'm so
Just
curious.
a hat, like a normal hat.
Like a fisherman hat or like a golf hat?
What are you talking?
You would wear a golf hat so well. A poker hat? The one with a little like green lip on the front?
That's a... You don't know what a hat is.
No, I don't apparently. I don't know what kind of hat you're talking about. I'm finding out.
Have you ever watched like a 60s or a 70s movie? Like a hat. A gentleman's hat.
Like Sherlock Holmes?
I'm not quite a baller. I'm not going Watson here.
Yeah. I can't imagine a hat. I'm just trying to picture it right now.
I have pictures of me in a hat.
Really?
Check my Facebook account, dude. Like, seriously.
I want to see you in a hat, dude.
I have a hat.
I can't wear hats. My head's too big, man. It feels weird.
I can't wear baseball caps and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I look beyond stupid in them. It's insane. It's actually insane.
You would look like someone fooled themselves if you wore a baseball cap.
No,
honestly.
I look insanely dumb. You have no idea. You have really no clue. I tried a few times.
I'm excited for this.
I don't have to do it. They banned it. Look at it.
No Abathur.
No Abathur, no hat.
Dang, man.
I have an Abathur hat too.
If Abathur gets through one draft this weekend, will you wear a hat for us on stream?
No, he's definitely going to get one draft.
One draft? No, one. Just one. One little Abathur get through the bans. Caldor,
Could
do
you
it.
focus on the draft, please? There's serious business going on. Tim, be a little bit professional for once.
Yeah, you're right. That's on me.
I'm
sorry.
an Abathur hat too.
Zeratul, Hanzo, and Malfurion. Zeratul being a first pick for Granit Gaming. Really believing in this here.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I mean, Zeratul has already played a pretty big role in the last series. I mean, not to the extent that it was picked a lot, but when we've seen it, it was really just like Mena stepping it up really on the hero. And we saw it on the last map, for example, in Towers of Doom, having a huge impact. And Granit Gaming does the exact same thing. So Zeratul for the second time in the second draft. But I'm pretty excited for potentially even Jimmy coming out since Phoenix is being banned this time. Don't want to deal with a salvo in any of these attempts. But then again, Granit Gaming has still that Samuro. That's really the question. Do we maybe see... I don't think so, because we already have Zeratul being picked, so it's very likely that we're going to... I think there's no chance that Granit Gaming picks Zeratul and Samuro, especially with Raid Boss being on the Zeratul most likely. So if they would pick Samuro, it would be none on that, and they don't have a front line.
Yep.
Giddy up! But okay, forget it.
Giddy up, brother. Say it for me. You gotta drag out the ID.
In the game when there's no camera on me.
Just do it. Just do it, man. Who cares what people think about you?
You laughed. You already made fun of me the last time.
Leo and Joanna coming in here. Strong front line setup here for Granit Gaming. Pretty decent wave clear too to help match against Dehaka. A little bit more damage here for Monkeys.
I'm wondering a little bit about the build that we're seeing from Arena, if that's going to be an adjustment compared to what Shrimpy and Mane pulled off in the last game. There's very little slows to really work around so far. Okay, there we go. Thrall coming in for that very frontline heavy. It's a little bit of an attempt that we've also seen from Fnatic, where they, on Infernal Shrines, were trying to play triple melee at the front and making sure that Reina had a lot of space to work with and couldn't really be targeted as easily. The cool part was that Zealots actually reacted with Jaina against it, and was nice damage against that front line, and they couldn't really punish him for it. In this setup, we don't quite see the same thing here, but I feel it comes down to how much Hanzo and Zeratul can do. But I honestly think it's going to be a lot tougher for Granit Gaming to get into that backline and take Reina down.
Yeah.
It was for Zealots against Fnatic when they ran a similar draft. I feel it's going to be really tricky with this.
There's CP in Entomb, so possible. And then, of course, you have that beeline arrow that we saw a lot from the Zealots. But I do feel like Granit Gaming's draft is a little bit more late game oriented for this map in particular.
Yeah.
Where we can have a really good start here for Monkeys. So if the Monkeys are able to find that temple, get a little bit of traction going, I can see them doing really well.
It's just that Zealots, when they played it, they had a lot of one-shot potential with Jaina and the damage that he pushed out, Planet Cracker and the games that they played where they had a stun. I don't feel that to the same extent for them, especially since I don't think Zeratul can do as much here until the late game, as you said. But we're gonna find out. Game number 2, we have the lead for Granit Gaming as we are heading in, and Crosby on the left side for the Monkeys. On Jimmy, we have Maka on Thrall, playing first of the frontliners, Alex, our Monkey King, on Dehaka. On the side lane, Rema Baller, of course, with that front line, playing the tank. He's on Garrosh, on Splendor, on Deckard Kane.
To the right, Granit Gaming. Dark Mach on Leoric, Memecraft on Hanzo, Nande on Johanna, Wolf Joe on Malfurion, and Raid Boss to play Zeratul.
Leoric not taking, there we go. Austin's renewal as level 1. Has by now been established as the #1 talent, consumed Vitality for a long time, has played a huge role in the meta. But after the mid-season brawl in particular, even before that, most of the European players started to shift a bit more towards the Korean build for Leoric. So that slight adjustment in the talent on level 1 before Neopazin comes online on level 7. That being said, on level 4 of course. That being said, we have Ace in the hole again for Reina. So really playing around these slows that we see there. Very rarely do you see someone on this level going into the stacking talent for your trade. But then again, on level 4, there's a couple of adjustments, as we've seen from Shrimby earlier, going into the Behemoth armor, something that he really prioritized, even going over the extra armor on the fight or flight.
Dark Monk showing why that level 1 tank can be a good pickup if you're able to bully your opponent around the regen globes. A little bit popping out consistently, and you'll get to a point where you're consistently healing as well. As he does a lot of damage on Alex Saproji, who tried to contest that regen globe and then also missed out on it. Gonna be hurting there for a little bit, may have to use a Brush Stalker later on. And actually, we have a drag on the top as Leo takes some damage. A little fun 1v1 as Giants are now grabbed for both of our teams.
Yeah, Dehaka has actually suffered in that bot lane matchup quite a bit. Darkmoor was able to connect the Drain Hope. But also when it comes to the side lanes in general, just like the melee heroes, it's not only this matchup that's pretty interesting. This could actually result in the kill the way that these guys playing. Darkmoor is in trouble right now, and so is Alex. Like, it comes down to the last hit here. Darkmoor gets away for now. Alex still has a little bit, dodges on the drain, and now it's just basically a ring around the rosy that we have. But a nice mount up by Darkmoor, and eventually he should be able to walk away from this one. Moves through, gets the drain in, and that was an important one. Alex has to dodge. This is a really nice 1v1 that we have here.
Alex with the burrow, able to back up, and he eventually decides to back away from the bone guy. As Darkmock finally gets that lane pushed in. Should be able to have a Brush Talk to come back on that top lane and soak up the experience he has to use that. But that's actually a win. If you can force Dehaka to use Brush Talk in the early game, gives your team a little bit more wiggle room to open up on the map, be a little bit more aggressive.
Really good job here. Also, we have on level 1 for Maka nearly the completion of his Echo of Elements. He's sitting at 18 now. And we have Fight or Flight taken. So Adrenaline Rush cooldown gets reduced, and you get the extra armor. That's a talent that Mane took the first time that he played Reina today. But ever since Shrimpy afterwards took over the responsibility of playing the auto attack damage dealer, we've seen the Behemoth armor coming online for him trying to get the extra stacks going for extra hit points. And of course the initial boost of 250 HP that you get when you pick the talent.
Night Camp grabbed here at the top left, as mentioning earlier, trying to get that activated when the temple comes in. Granit Gaming is the same though, so we'll have a bit of a battle between the two. decent wave clear here for Granit Gaming. So they should be able to get a nice little advantage here in this top lane between Johanna and Zeratul. I don't know if they'll get much more on the turret, though, as Monkey's already rotating over to clear that out.
Yeah, bot lane pressure with Thrall and Leoric still going toe-to-toe, but now that we have the two temples active, it seems that both of them are absolutely happy with just claiming one of them. At least that's what it looks like for now. But the extra pressure at the top lane against the Monkeys, simply because they are taking top temple, they have most of their resources, most of their heroes there, and currently that means that they still have the remnants of the night camp, since they were able to clear out the camp of the Monkeys so much faster. So they are pushing in heavily against the structures. The Monkeys are trying to mirror that in the mid lane, and so far they're doing well, trying to take down that fort, and they should be successful with that. But it's a bit of a race that we're seeing between the two teams.
Yeah, and Granit Gaming is getting a big wave stacked up. They're continuing the push here. They start moving in for a keep wall. Temple do some damage here in the middle. And finally, Granit Gaming starts to back up. As I say that, they actually hit to the middle here as Leo scouts out. Garrosh rotating down to the bottom, and with Raynor and Decker Kane joining in, Monkey's just opening up the first layer of defense.
Yeah, and now the keep wall at the top being attacked, this is starting to become a massive issue. I don't know why the Monkeys are not reacting to this. It's actually mind-boggling at this point. They're trying to get the experience, but this is a huge problem.
And Leo's trying to keep both Raynor and Thrall here. Granit Gaming keeps pushing in. Garrosh is coming in for the wide flank, but it will be a 4v3 here.
Yeah, Remo starts to move in from the back, but that keeper's already taken damage. And again, we're on a map where it's highly important that you take down as many structures as you possibly can by simply taking them down manually and not relying on the objective. That makes the objective themselves so much more powerful. So this additional pressure up here at the top lane was fantastic for them.
That felt like a Monkey saying, I dare you. Go ahead. Keep pushing.
Yep.
And Granit Gaming is, okay, sure, we'll keep pushing. We like damage on and keep. We did have the wall cleared up on the bottom side, and there is a fort cleared up in the middle, so Monkeys did trade out a little bit for it in terms of infrastructure, and if they can control that bottom temple, they'll be able to get the fort down the bottom right. But keep damage, as you mentioned, is something that you never want to toy with on this battleground.
Now we have an adjustment in the build for Raynor, and we've been talking about Jimmy quite a bit, but now we have Fuel the Rush. So first of all, the adjustment on level 4 with a Fight or Flight, and then Fuel the Rush. So every single time you use Inspire, you get an increased cooldown reduction from your basic attacks. It's actually really powerful if you want to keep that talent alive, and if sustainability is what you're looking for, it's really strong. The problem, of course, is that with you not speccing into your trade on level 7, you're missing out on the opportunity of supplying yourself with that slow that procs your ace in the hole on level 1 and increase that slow. So from a damage output perspective, it would have been the much smarter choice to go into that instead of using Fuel the Rush here. But Fuel the Rush is keeping you more alive during these fights, so you have a bit more sustainability from yourself. On the pro level, I would say this is probably something we're going to see not as much, since normally your healer has that job and you are just there to dish out as much damage as you can.
Granit Gaming trying to force a fight with level 10 right before 10 hits for the Monkeys. Johanna moves in, puts a little bit of aggression. Here's a Blessed Shield. They focus down Thrall. Here comes the Entomb. Drain Hope afterwards, and boom. Thrall has been taken out, but Hyperion is used to answer back as Monkeys go for their own engage. Yeah,
and already Raid Boss is low, and he's not the only one. The kill against Hanzo is immediately secured here by Dehaka. That was a great Hyperion that we just saw from Raynor, and the fight is not over yet. Wolfjo still in the back, keeping everyone alive and looking for the opportunity to maybe lock someone down again. The throw against Darkmook, and even with the Wraith Walk, he might not be able to get away here. He goes down as the Monkeys secure kill number 2.
Zeratul trying to do his best here, but with no range damage available for Granit Gaming, they're having a hard time trading while Raynor just continues to spread the pepper to everybody. Raid Boss tosses the corner there. Upheaval does not actually connect there to knock him up, so Raid Boss is able to teleport away. Drag comes out afterwards. Johanna takes some damage, but with the Iron Skin is able to finally escape. But Monkeys definitely take this win here as they're able to start grabbing the temple.
Yeah, I'm actually impressed that they didn't lose more. This looked really as if they could maybe secure a 4th and even a 5th kill here. As we're saying that, though, we have another potential engage as Darkmook is back to business, and we also have Zeratul in the fight, so it's once more that 5 versus 5, and the shots are taken over by Granit Gaming now as they are looking for an opportunity. Nande again attacked, arrow comes out, and the counter pressure against Splendor. Blessed Shield is there, and Dehaka nearly falling, but the counter engager Thrall drops the Sundering.
Thunder to keep him alive. Nande trying to stay up. Nature's Cure comes out, but the immediate time afterwards. Raid Boss goes in, gets a decent cleave, but Monkeys win another engage as Johanna falls. Another temple is finally claimed by the Monkeys.
The damage output of Zeratul is already something that is a bit worrisome if you look over at how much he pushes out during those team fights, especially since everyone tends to clump up on the Monkey's side. Once that he has a 16, that could be a massive problem for the Monkeys if it comes to these 5 versus 5 battles. But at this point, they're looking pretty good with 3 kills against 1. They've taken over the lead in experience now too. And of course, they are really working on these structures. If Thrall moves in, I mean, he doesn't even have to. The minions alone should be able to take down the fort here.
Boss is going to try and maybe stop that here. Nope, not in time. There it is. Big jump in experience, 12.5 to just not 12 for Granit Gaming, as they continue to work on getting their own level 13. As you mentioned, 4 levels away from that 16 for Zeratul, but Leoric starts to hit his 13 power spikes. And as we get to the late game, Granit Gaming will start to get stronger. Level 20 Birdie alive. Zeratul, of course, level 20 with the 16 combined. Furion as well, and then of course you have Hanzo, who will be jumping around like crazy and having Pierce at 16.
It's definitely already a better game for the Monkeys, there's no doubt about that. They have 3 kills against 1, so they've put their name onto the scoreboard. The Sundering that we're seeing for Thrall is still a little bit, I don't want to say weird, but it's normally when you're going into Ace in the Hole on Reyna, you're really looking to get additional slows from some other source. You don't have to overvalue that and think that you need to have slows on every single one of your heroes and have a massive amount of synergy, but it's still really powerful if you have an Earthquake available so that Reyna can get that damage out, or if you have some other sources. Now, they have a few tools that they can definitely use with the stunts that they have available, but I would have expected them to go into Earthquake here. But the way that we are seeing these engagements happen, Sundering actually gives them a lot of value, so it's an interesting choice, not quite what I expected when I saw the draft, but it's working out so far.
It kept Decker King alive in the last team fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Really low, a couple of auto attacks and it finished off. Granit Gaming making a play here for this top push in Alex Poji doing his best here to make sure that's defended, and with Walk coming over to help, Dark Mark should consider backing up. Timble's activated about 15 seconds. We have 13 for both of our teams. And Granit Gaming is attempting to group up here in the middle lane, as they would love to clear out this first wall, take out that well as well.
The top keep is so low on the Monkey side. I think if they lose a team fight, Granit Gaming is easily going to move top and take the keep down, and then the catapult pressure starts up. For now, of course, those temples are going to prioritize the forts that are still on the map. But the fight's going on, and a massive arrow comes out, and down goes Jimmy. He's gone. No Hyperion, no nothing. An insta-kill against him, and Granit Gaming now with absolute perfect temple control.
Very similar fight to what we saw, but the opposite side this time when we had the temple on the bottom. The damage range being taken out makes it hard for Monkeys to go for a full engage, so they immediately back up as to where Granit Gaming kept trying to fight. Monkeys playing a little bit disciplined here, making sure not to get caught out too much. Top temple, the middle one, will take some damage as it puts out the fort here in the middle and the fort in the bottom. And with a second temple available, Granit Gaming is positioning to make sure that they keep it away from the Monkeys.
Nice Iron Skin to make sure that Rema doesn't get an opportunity to throw Nande in, so he moves out of this one. Temples are taken now, of course. Sky Temples shooting down to the bot lane. Fountain gone, and that is another objective here for Granit that they can now claim. If they get both, it will be fantastic. But at this point, they're still a little bit hesitant to really commit to it. We have Leoric starting to make the move to the top since there's a massive wave assembling, so they want the experience. But it also means that they give Alex an opportunity on their Haka to move down to the bot lane and turn it into a 5 versus 4.
Granit aware of this. Just runs in the middle. They don't want to give that spot for Dahaka to come in and get that tongue. Zeratul soaking the middle, experience in the middle too, as he hits level 15 and a quarter. Keeping up with the constant pressure. See if anyone pulls back to defend that. If they don't, that'll be some keep walls that are taking damage. Granit Gaming, meanwhile, takes off every single fort of the field of Granit Gaming, and they start to siege on the temples of the keep on the bottom. Next temples. We'll start be playing for those keeps.
I have to say that I expected Granit Gaming to be a bit more aggressive around the bottom temple after they got the initial kill, to at least soak some of the shots here. Because now, if you look at the map, it's actually really even. Monkeys are more or less ahead when it comes to structures. Their problem is that their keep is already that low. That's the biggest issue.
I think I agree with you. I would actually prefer for them to try and get a little bit aggressive on the bottom. And if Dahaka burrows in, say, Leo, go get that keep in the top right corner. They had to wait for him to push in, clear that out. You have Neil Peasants.
Yeah, you can also make the play just simply before he's even back.
Yeah.
And get some of the shots at least. Because again, they are technically behind in structures because there's still that fort for the Monkey Menagerie at the bot lane. It's just the keep at the top lane for the Monkeys that's under so much pressure that there's always the threat that Granit Gaming is moving in to simply take it. So that will worry me a little bit. In experience, it's the same. 16 versus 16, you have 3 kills against 2. It's all about the boss play at this point. It's definitely an interesting spot that we're in right now, considering how well it started for Granit.
Leo going to try keeping that pressure up at the top with the Night Camp. We'll see if Dahaka can handle that.
And we have Giddy up again on 13. That seems to be the standard talent just now, but give me more once again on 16. So trying to just get the additional healing here as well from the adrenaline rush. I mean, of course, that makes a lot of sense if you're already taking a level 4 and the level 7. You're really just trying to keep yourself alive here. The weird part to me is, like, if you see an attack against Rain, it's the attempt to blow him up instantly. And then a lot of the talents that we're seeing for Crosby just don't give you value. It's more about having a long, sustainable fight that you're thinking about right now. You get some extra range from your level 16 talent as well. That helps you to stay a bit closer, but it's still tricky. Crosby here also going down now, so even with those talents, it just didn't help him. He needs more effective hit points in the moment to stay alive and not to sustain himself through a long team fight. That's at least what it feels like. Sundering coming out, but that kill, the second one against Alex, could still be secured here, and indeed it is as Hanzo takes him down.
Darkmon gets picked too with a taunt and throw, but he should be back pretty soon here. He can also keep an eye
Top keep
on where the monkeys are at. The top keep is under siege, as you mentioned, and Granit Gaming can flirt with the idea of going straight for the boss. In fact, I'm actually a little interested why they're not going for it quite yet. They're going to go for the temple instead to the south and clear up those shots, but with Scatter Arrow build Hanzo and full knowledge of where your opponents are at, I feel like that boss and a temple would have been nice for them.
I'm also not a fan of them going for the bottom temple. If you want the temple, why don't you go to the top lane?
Yeah, so the keep.
That will take the keep down. So the only reason why you would go to the bottom of the map is because you want to make the boss play. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. So at this point, I like it more. But if they would have just gone for the temple, as initially they did, I think they would have been the wrong call there. Because top temple would take the fort down at the bot lane and then focus on the top lane shortly afterwards.
Starts to grab the temple. Should be pushing this boss too. Leo's clearing out that back wave of minions to make sure that they can all group up together and attempt to break down this wall with the help of the boss. Setting up for the defense. Garrosh will finish off the rest of the shops at this top lane. Now, they do have to watch out for Dehaka. There is that bush in that bottom left corner. But with solid control from Malfurion and Sonic Arrows, they should be okay with the flank.
Yeah, right now, Granit Gaming, they need to do some work with this. And again, we're coming back to Crosby. How much damage can he push out with Reyna? Currently sitting at 24,000. Basically the exact amount of damage that Hanzo has put out. So Memecraft on the other side is doing fairly well to keep up with Jimmy. And this keep might actually... Nah, it's gonna... It's not even close at this point. They realize that they can't make it, so they move away from that. So one keep down. Top lane has to be dealt with, though. Then since Granit knows that there's a camp pushing towards it, so Leoric is the one that heads back and is going to take over the duty. But yeah, one keep down in the game and another one severely damaged at the top. An attempt by Alex to go into that backline here, and he does get the isolation off. The problem is that Wolfjoy is still walking away from it. The question is, can Nanda do the same thing here?
He's trying to. Sundering comes out, and with the help of a Void Prison, able to get away. The Hyperion a little bit too early, too. As Monkeys try to force the issue before level 20 connects and just cannot get the kills. Granit Gaming able to back away. Big Dragon Arrow to make sure Malfurion stayed alive, and then, of course, the VP to make sure that Nanda can stay up.
Sundering also coming out there. I mean, they pulled all the stops to try and secure that kill, but they don't get it. And now Granit Gaming is about to hit level 20. 4 kills against 4, same kill count, but that level lead that we have for Granit Gaming is giving them super early Storm talents, and that makes them really powerful. And they should go for that keep at the top lane now. I mean, this is the perfect spot. You are a Storm talent ahead, and you can push your own way through. There's just nothing that the monkeys can do here, really. You just keep poking, stay at a safe distance, and through the Storm talents, you're just strong enough to take that keep, or at least you should be able to. And then you have 2 catapult lanes pushing against your opponent.
Yeah, that's waiting for them anyways right now, poking where they can. Dehaka actually came in from the side. Raid Boss is in full stealth mode, though. A little bit of damage. There we go. The blind comes out. Busted shield 2. Raid Boss trying to lock him down. There's a Dragon Arrow afterwards. Burrow to come out and to keep Alex alive, while Tranquility has to be used for Wolfjoy to keep up his teammates.
A lot of resources to take Alex down, though, and he survives. But Crosby on Jimmy is falling once more. And now the damage is gone. 20 is closing in for the Monkey Menagerie, but they're still half a level behind. And that should be enough time for Granit Gaming to push through here as the minion wave approaches to take that second keep. And then all you got to do is move back to take that next temple. They still will have a window of opportunity where we see Reyna being down. And with the damage gone, what can the monkeys do here? Even if they get the Storm Talons, that is a pretty big problem. It's half a minute.
Well, looks like they'll have this keep, push out catapults, and wait for Reyna to come up, and then attempt to go for a Hail Mary play. Because they are definitely very behind. It's a situation that you do not want to be on Sky Temple. Rimmer goes for a toss. Unable to get anything. In fact, he gets punished pretty hard there.
Yeah, Reyna's still not there. They got a few shots of the temple, but they're actually trying to follow that. Stay a while and listen. Splendor goes in. Alex, oh, a Blessed Shield actually missing. as Johanna is not connecting the heroic. Make is now again completing his Thunderstorm, gets the extra slow through and the extra damage. But they're moving back onto the temple, just as Reyna respawns. And the 20s are there for them now, so if they can force the fight, the Monkeys have a chance of taking it.
Yeah, some time was bought with that fight. Dahaka gets locked down, buried alive, can't even burrow. Ooh, but River comes aside and gets the toss into the fray, save, and Big Taunt comes out, and Monkeys are trying to go for a team fight.
The big boy taunt here, but the Void Prison also has the counter. The Hyperion is still active. Raid Boss goes in, and he gets the damage, but the isolation is there, and that might be the play here. Zeratul takes down Garrosh, though, and they kill Thrall. The two orcs are both dead, as the Alliance is about to be victorious here. Splendor still on the run. The Haka also falling, and Granit Gaming is just absolutely destroying the Monkeys. 4 down, only 1 alive. And Reyna is just on the way to B-step back to the core. But Granit Gaming, they want the game now.
Raid Boss with the big VP. Monkeys almost had a moment where Rimmer set up the kills for his teammates, but because the VP came in as an interaction to stop that entire thing from transpiring, Granit Gaming was able to turn around the fight. And with catapult pressure to boot in the top lane and the bottom lane, they can turn their attention towards getting a victory. And against the Monkeys, as their core continue to fall, Granit Gaming is going to go up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series.
GG, and well played, looking strong there. And I have to say, I'm not really sold on the Reyna build still.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing Hero League and you can't rely on your healer a lot, then the build might make sense if there's also not as much coordinated play against you to one-shot you. And the fights are, you know, longer, drawn out, a little bit more chaotic and not as well coordinated, then I think I enjoy the build. But when it comes to the damage output, he severely suffered when it came to that, as you can see here too. 39,000 from Crosby compared to the 48k that we see from Hanzo from Memecraft. If you compare that a bit to what we've seen in the Zealot Fnatic series earlier, Reyna really just stood out, even in the losing games, as one of the main damage dealers. And so I think if you just try to survive the burst, you probably have more of a chance there. And especially through your level 7 slow, you get more of an opportunity to dish that damage out. Then again, I don't think it's only that. I really feel that when we looked at Fnatic's drafts, they were always trying to